It's not just about a clean home, it's about the feeling that greets you when you open the door. That gentle wave of freshness. That comforting sense of, I'm home. For many older women, a beautifully scented space is part of their legacy, a quiet art perfected over decades. These women don't just clean, they care for their spaces with intention, using little-known techniques passed down like heirlooms. Today we'll uncover 8 of their most beloved secrets, methods that keep their home smelling incredible day in and day out, no matter the season. 1. The power of simmer pots, a secret passed down through generations. One of the most timeless and effective ways older women keep their homes smelling heavenly doesn't come from a store, it comes from the stove. It's called a simmer pot, and it's as soothing to the soul as it is to the senses. Imagine walking into a home where the air is laced with the warm scent of cinnamon, citrus, and clove. That's the magic of a simmer pot, a humble pot of water gently bubbling away on the back burner, filled with natural ingredients that release a gentle fragrance into the air. For many women over 60 or 70, this practice is more than a cleaning tip. It's a ritual, a moment of peace, a nod to a time when everything wasn't about sprays and synthetics. It's about creating atmosphere, one you can feel as much as you smell. Here's how it works. You fill a saucepan with water and add whatever fragrant ingredients you love, slices of lemon or orange, cinnamon sticks, cloves, rosemary, or even vanilla extract. Then you let it simmer on low heat for hours. The steam rises, carrying the natural aromas through the house. No artificial chemicals. No fake perfumes. Just pure, comforting scent that settles into the fabric of your home like a familiar hug. Some women even make it seasonal. In the fall, it's apples and cinnamon. In the spring, it might be lemon and thyme. Around the holidays, it's orange peel with star anise and nutmeg. Each pot tells a story, anchored in memory, a grandmother's kitchen, a quiet afternoon, a holiday gathering long past. There's a reason this method endures. It works. It softens the air, quiets the mood, and gently lifts the energy of the space. And here's the best part, it's completely natural. No plugins. No sprays. Just a small pot and a handful of pantry staples. This is how older women keep their homes feeling alive. Not through quick fixes, but through slow rituals. They understand something many younger generations have forgotten, that scent is emotion. That a house doesn't need to just look clean, it should feel good too. If you've never tried a simmer pot, maybe today is the day. Fill a pot, light the stove, and let the warmth bloom. This is where the real magic begins. 2. Baking soda isn't just for baking, it's a silent, scentless workhorse behind the scenes. There's a quiet little box in almost every older woman's home, tucked beneath the sink, hidden in the back of the fridge, or sprinkled across the carpet before the vacuum comes out. It's not flashy. It doesn't smell like lavender or lemon. But it works harder than any commercial air freshener on the market. It's baking soda. And for generations, it's been one of the most trusted secrets for keeping homes not just smelling clean, but actually being clean. Unlike sprays that simply cover up odors, baking soda neutralizes them at the source. That's why older women trust it. It's dependable. It doesn't try to impress. It just gets the job done. Take the refrigerator, for instance. Over time, even a tidy fridge can develop subtle odors, a mix of last night's leftovers, sharp cheeses, and sealed containers that aren't quite airtight. A small open box of baking soda, placed on the middle shelf, quietly absorbs those odors without making a fuss. No scent added. Just freshness maintained. And then there's the carpet. A favorite technique involves sprinkling baking soda generously across the rug, letting it sit for 15 to 30 minutes, sometimes longer, and then vacuuming it up. It's simple, but it draws out odors trapped deep in the fibers, leaving the room feeling noticeably lighter, as if the air itself has been refreshed. Shoes? A small scoop in each one overnight can make them smell like they've never been worn. Trash cans? A shake at the bottom of the liner keeps nasty smells from sneaking into the air. Drains? A spoonful down the kitchen sink, followed by warm water or a bit of vinegar, keeps things from turning sour. Baking soda doesn't just deodorize, it acts like a reset button for the senses. And here's why it matters. older women understand that clean doesn't mean perfumed. It means neutral. It means natural. It means the kind of air you don't even notice because it's so fresh, so balanced, so easy to breathe. They don't rely on overpowering fragrance or clever branding. They reach for the simple tools that have stood the test of time. Baking soda is humble. And that's exactly why it works. 3. The linen legacy. How scented sheets and towels create a home that breathes warmth. If you've ever stepped into an older woman's home and been greeted by the soft, clean scent of freshly laundered linens, not just in the laundry room, but everywhere, then you've experienced one of her quietest, most powerful secrets. Scented linens aren't just about laundry. They're about memory. They're about mood. They are about transforming the invisible air of a room into something that feels lovingly arranged, even if nothing has been said. Older women know this instinctively. And they've developed a rhythm, not rushed, but intentional around how they care for fabrics in their home. Their sheets are rarely tossed into the wash and forgotten. They're laundered with care, often using natural boosters like white vinegar to remove mustiness, and essential oils like lavender, eucalyptus, or lemon to leave behind a light fragrance that settles softly into the fibers. But it doesn't stop at the wash. Here's the deeper secret. These women know where to store their linens and how to keep them smelling beautiful long after the laundry day is over. Inside their linen closets, tucked between the folds of towels and pillowcases, you'll often find sachets, small fabric pouches filled with dried herbs, citrus peels, cedar shavings, or even drops of essential oil on cotton balls. These sachets don't just mask odors, they infuse the entire space with a calm, comforting scent that lingers for weeks. Some women take it further, placing a bar of fragrant soap between stacks of folded towels, or lining drawers with scented paper that slowly releases its aroma into everything it touches. When guests stay the night, they often comment on how the sheets smell like a field of lavender, or how the guest towels feel like they came from a luxury spa. But the truth is, it's not about luxury at all. It's about presence. About noticing the little things. Because older women understand that home is a sensory experience. The smell of fresh linens is more than hygiene. It's an offering. A way to say you're safe here. You're thought of. You're welcome. It's also a gift to themselves. When they slip into bed at night and the scent of lavender rises to meet them, it's not just sleep that follows. It's peace. Clean linens, gently scented and lovingly stored, are a silent signature of a home that's cared for from the inside out. And that, more than anything, is what makes the entire space feel alive. 4. Houseplants. The living air purifiers that do more than beautify. Step into the home of a wise older woman, and chances are you'll find something quietly blooming in the corner of her living room. Perhaps a glossy peace lily. Maybe a tall snake plant standing guard by the doorway. Or even a string of ivy gently cascading from a high shelf. These houseplants are not just for decoration, they're a carefully chosen part of her home's atmosphere. A part of how she breathes, how she feels, and yes, how her home smells so fresh, so clean, so alive. Older women have long understood a secret many are just beginning to rediscover. Houseplants are natural air purifiers. They do what artificial sprays cannot. They gently filter the air, absorb toxins, release clean oxygen, and introduce a subtle, earthy scent that signals life is present in every room. And it's not just about air quality. It's about the mood. There is something deeply comforting about being in a space where plants are thriving. The air feels softer. The energy feels calmer. There's movement, but it's slow. A leaf turning toward the sun. A new bud unfurling overnight. It's nature's rhythm, and it sets the tone for the entire home. Some women choose plants with soft, fragrant leaves like rosemary or mint, herbs that serve double duty as both air fresheners and culinary delights. Others prefer jasmine, gardenia, or scented geraniums, whose blossoms release a gentle floral note that lingers without overpowering. Even a single sprig of eucalyptus in a vase can fill a room with a clean, calming scent that soothes the mind and invites deep breaths. More importantly, these plants become part of a daily ritual. Watering, pruning, noticing. This connection to life, to growth, keeps the home and the heart in motion. It's not about perfection. Sometimes the leaves brown. Sometimes they droop. But even that becomes part of the story. A reminder that beauty is in the tending, not just the outcome. And here's the quiet truth older women understand. A home filled with living things doesn't just smell better, it feels better. Plants don't demand attention, but they reward it generously. They filter out the stale and the stagnant and offer, in return, a whisper of renewal. So when you wonder why her home feels so grounded, so breathable, look to the plants. They're not just greenery. They're caretakers of the air. Partners in peace. And they're one of the oldest and wisest cleaning secrets of all. 5. The weekly deep clean ritual, a rhythm of renewal, not a race. There's a quiet discipline you'll find in many older women's homes, a rhythm, a cycle, a gentle but firm commitment to something many today overlook. It's the weekly deep clean. Not a frantic Saturday scrubbing spree, and certainly not a once-in-a-while purge. It's a ritual. A sacred pause. A way of saying this space matters. I matter. You see, for many women who've spent decades creating homes filled with love, structure, and intention, cleaning is never rushed. It's not a punishment for mess. It's a way of resetting the atmosphere. They know that when a home is deeply cleaned, not just wiped, but truly cared for, the air shifts. Dust no longer lingers in corners. Fabrics breathe. Wood gleams. And the entire space becomes lighter, freer. The secret isn't just in what they clean, but how they approach it. They don't see it as a chore, they see it as stewardship. Monday might be for bathrooms. Tuesday, floors and baseboards. Wednesday, fresh linens and bedrooms. Each day carries its own purpose. And by week's end, the home has been renewed, not in a frenzy, but in rhythm. And it's this rhythm that helps keep the air clean and fragrant. There's no need to spray air fresheners when surfaces are regularly dusted, floors are vacuumed, and hidden places, like vents, under furniture, and behind appliances, are not neglected. Older women have learned over time that the sources of bad odors often lie not in what's visible, but in what's forgotten. A slow leak beneath the sink. A dusty air filter. A pillow that hasn't been washed in months. They've also discovered small additions that elevate a deep clean from routine to restorative. A bowl of vinegar left overnight to absorb odors. Lemon slices rubbed into its surfaces for natural shine and scent. A touch of olive oil and essential oil for polishing cabinets. These aren't hacks, they're traditions. Quiet practices honed through experience and care. The weekly deep clean isn't just about maintaining appearances. It's about creating consistency. Older women understand that peace doesn't come from perfection, it comes from order. From knowing that every space in the home, even the ones no one else sees, has been touched with purpose. And that purpose radiates through the air. You can feel it in the stillness of a freshly mopped floor. You can breathe it in when the windows are opened wide and the breeze moves through a space that's ready to receive it. 6. Hidden scents, the art of fragrance layering in unexpected places. Walk into the home of a seasoned homemaker and you'll often notice something remarkable. It doesn't matter where you go, the entryway, the linen closet, even the smallest drawer, everything carries a whisper of fragrance. Not loud, not perfumed, just soft and welcoming. This isn't an accident. It's a quiet strategy passed down like a family recipe. It's the art of fragrance layering in unexpected places, and it's one of the most overlooked secrets to keeping a home smelling amazing all the time. Older women don't rely on one overpowering scent to define the feel of their home. Instead, they place small, thoughtful touches throughout. Each space gets a subtle note, one that matches its mood and use. A sachet of dried lavender nestled in a drawer. A cotton ball with a drop of rose or sandalwood tucked behind books on the shelf. A bar of soap slipped between guest towels. These small additions don't dominate the air. They live in it. Quietly. Constantly. The beauty of this method is that the scent never hits you all at once. It greets you slowly, room by room, breath by breath. A guest might open a closet and be met with the soft scent of cedar. A bathroom cabinet might exhale the cool freshness of eucalyptus. A hallway might carry the faintest note of orange peel and clove, left behind from a homemade cleaner or a piece of potpourri. Even heat vents and radiators hold opportunity. Some women tuck small sachets in nearby corners, letting warmth lift the fragrance gently into the air. Others place a drop or two of essential oil on a clothespin, clipped inside air vents. No one sees it, but everyone feels it. And perhaps the most powerful element of this technique? It creates consistency. When scent lives in the corners of your home, it doesn't fade in and out based on whether someone just cleaned. It's always there, light, reassuring, invisible but undeniable. It becomes part of the character of the space. This is not about creating an artificial showroom scent. It's about weaving comfort into the very fabric of your home. Older women know that real freshness doesn't shout. It whispers. It stays. And more importantly, it welcomes. Not just guests, but the woman herself. When she comes home, when she walks through her space, she's reminded this is her sanctuary. This is her story. And it smells like peace. 7. The open window ritual, clearing the air and the mind. There's a ritual older women have practiced for decades, often without even speaking about it. It happens early in the day, sometimes while the kettle is warming or the sun is just peeking through the curtains. It's quiet, gentle, and deeply powerful. It's the simple act of opening the windows, no matter the season, and letting the air breathe. To many, it might seem like a small thing. But to those who understand it, this daily ritual is one of the most effective ways to keep a home smelling fresh, alive, and emotionally balanced. Older women know something modern life tends to forget. Air needs movement. Stagnant air, no matter how clean a space appears, carries a kind of heaviness. It holds yesterday's meals, last night's sleep, the emotions of a long week, and even the weight of memories that haven't been spoken aloud. And when you keep the window shut for too long, that air settles in. It becomes the atmosphere. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, the home begins to feel closed. That's why, even on chilly mornings, you'll often find the windows cracked just an inch or two. Just enough to invite the outside in. Just enough to let the stale air out. Just enough to change the current of the room. This isn't about cooling the home. It's about clearing it. About giving space for the invisible to shift. About removing what no longer serves odors, tension, stillness, and making room for the new. The science behind it is simple. Air exchange removes indoor pollutants, reduces moisture buildup, and balances humidity, all factors that contribute to unpleasant smells. But beyond the science, there's something spiritual about it. Something emotional. A home that breathes is a home that heals. Some women even pair this practice with intention. While the windows are open, they tidy the bed. Light a candle. Play soft music. It becomes a reset. A sacred pause between what was and what comes next. Older women don't rely on artificial sprays to freshen the air. They trust the wind, the breeze, the natural rhythm of fresh air moving through clean curtains. They understand that the best scent is often the absence of scent, the kind of freshness that comes only when air is allowed to move freely. This ritual may take just 5 minutes, but its impact lasts all day. The rooms feel lighter. The mind feels clearer. And the home becomes a space not just of cleanliness, but of clarity. 8. Send a story, using personal fragrance to weave emotion into the home. The final and perhaps most meaningful secret older women swear by isn't found in any store aisle or cleaning cabinet. It lives in memory, in emotion, in the quiet decision to let a home carry the scent of who they are. Not just a clean home, but a soulful one. One that smells like them. You see, for many women, fragrance is not just a matter of freshness. It's a thread, one that weaves their personality, their history, and their heart into the very air of their space. They don't pick scents because they're trendy. They pick them because they mean something. Maybe it's a certain perfume, soft rose, warm amber, or powdery vanilla that's gently misted onto curtains or applied just before guests arrive, so the house carries the scent long after they've left. Maybe it's the oil blend used every night in a diffuser beside the bed, not for anyone else, but for themselves. A reminder of calm. A signal of peace. Some women use incense in the early morning, slow-burning sandalwood or myrrh, not to impress, but to center. Others bake not just for nourishment, but for the way cinnamon and brown sugar wrap around the walls and say, this is a place where love lives. Even the choice of hand soap, the candle by the bath, or the drawer that smells faintly of lavender sachet, none of it is random. It's a scent map of a life deeply lived. These aren't strong or flashy fragrances. They don't overwhelm. They linger gently, just enough to stir a memory or soften a mood. And that's the point. Older women know that scent, more than any other sense, connects us to emotion. A certain smell can take you back 20 years, remind you of someone you've lost, or bring you into the present moment more fully than anything else. In their homes, scent becomes a form of storytelling, a quiet biography. Visitors don't just smell clean. They smell comfort, safety, depth. And when these women walk through their own rooms, they feel it too. The space becomes more than a place to live. It becomes a reflection of who they've been, who they are, and what they still believe in. That's the true secret. The best-smelling homes aren't trying to impress. They're trying to remember. And they invite everyone who enters to feel part of something lasting. If this video inspired you, please take a moment to like it and subscribe to our channel. It helps us share more wisdom like this with others who crave peace, comfort, and intention in their homes.